What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K here. Boxing is booming with news right now, so we're going to talk about what's hot. And what's hot right now, Andre Ward officially announces his retirement from boxing. And as he retires as the best fighter in the sport. The best way to go out, undefeated, 5-time champion in 2 weight classes. Both of those weight classes, he was officially recognized as the lineal champion. You know what I'm saying? The best way to go, he pulls the plug and he leaves the sport. Now, I'm going to get deeper into Andre Ward and his career at a later date. But as for now, I want to talk a little bit about the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got motherfuckers like Sergey Kovalev and Crawford who are acting like wives and shit that finally got away from their abusive husbands. You know what I'm saying? Of course, these 2 punk motherfuckers were victims of Andre Ward, and they sitting there celebrating, oh yeah, oh my god, he's gone. Just like they got away from, you know, a nigga that was whooping their ass worse than Ike did Tina Turner. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. You know, Carl Froch is over here talking about, you know, no sour grapes, but I'm glad he's left the sport. What the fuck does that got to do with you? You left the sport a long ass time ago. You like 3 years retired, bruh. The fuck does that got to do with you? You know what I'm saying? And then Sergey Kovalev, you know, in a nutshell, he says on the conference call for his fight with Vyacheslav Shabransky coming up, he basically said that Andre Ward retiring is good for boxing because it allows the other fighters at 175 to get opportunities to be champion. Now, what this dumb motherfucker don't realize he just said was the greatest fighter at 175 has left. So now the rest of us, you know, the peasants of 175, we can actually get an opportunity to become champion now because the greatest is left. That's literally what this motherfucker was implying, but his dumbass doesn't understand that he implied that with this statement. You know what I'm saying? Then this nigga had the nerve to talk about, yeah, me and Andre Ward, you know what I'm saying? We 1-1. I want that 3rd fight. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Y'all 1-1 to whose standards? Yours, nigga? Because officially, you 0-2. And you got your punk ass knocked out in the 2nd fight by a body shot. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. Man, and I got a segment I'm going to do on Sergey Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats have been asking me how I feel about him. Do I think he's done? Do I think he can bounce back from that knockout? Is he mentally weak? I got something for that ass. You know what I'm saying? But I just think, man, you know, I knew that the casuals and the haters, the biased motherfuckers out there would be in celebration mode today. You know, the news hasn't really gone out there. It hasn't really hit everybody. So I'm not seeing too much of it, but I'm seeing it here and there. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers talking about Joe Calzaghe would have beat Andre Ward. Like, Joe Calzaghe not even fucking active. Motherfuckers been retired since, what, 2006 or some shit? Why are we talking about Joe Calzaghe and Andre Ward? You know what I'm saying? Another motherfucker said Alexander Gavadzik would have knocked Andre Ward out. I mean, just stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I haven't seen too much of the celebration from the dumbasses out there. But it's coming. It's coming. And the fact that Sergey Kovalev and Carl Froch, a.k.a. Tina Turner 1 and 2, happy than a motherfucker that Ike Turner done finally left the fucking division. I'm tired of him slapping me. Get the fuck out of here. One of them bitches is over there so traumatized that this motherfucker is still scared in retirement. Get this bitch out of here, man. Somebody get these 2 bitches some tampons, please. Shit is crazy, man. Shout out to Andre Ward, man. You know, I feel kind of selfish and how I'm thinking right now. There's a lot that I want Andre Ward to do, you know. Y'all heard me talk about him in a previous video I did, you know, not too long ago, where I said that, you know, if he could go up to cruiserweight and beat Alexander Usyk, you know, stay at 175 and become undisputed champion, beating Adonis Stevenson, who's this bitch ass nigga, man. He talks a lot of shit in the media, and I can't knock him for that because that's how I want fighters to be. Not necessarily talk shit, but don't act scared in the media. In the media is when you act the way you wish you could act, right? You act like you really want to fight dudes, and then behind the scenes, that's when you take a step back, be like, oh, hold up, nigga, I don't want to fight this nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what Adonis Stevenson is doing, guys. It's clear. You know what I'm saying? He did it with Kovalev, and he did it with Andre Ward. That's why Andre Ward couldn't make the deal with this nigga. Now, I do agree, Andre Ward, made himself look as if he didn't want to fight Adonis Stevenson, but he made a clear and concise statement. I understand it 100% anyway. He said Adonis Stevenson had numerous opportunities to make a name for himself and to be somebody at 175, but he ducked Bernard Hopkins, and I'm putting my own emphasis on it. He ducked Sergey Kovalev, right? He decided to fight other guys that don't fucking matter in the division, and he ended up getting stripped of his lineal status by Ring Magazine, and he is who the fuck he is today. Anybody really cares about, right? So it is what it is, man. Like I said, there's a lot that I wanted him to do. I wanted him to do that dream that he said he had of becoming heavyweight champion. He could have, came up from 168 to do that. But it is what it is, man. I got to be happy for him as a man. I got to be happy for Andre Ward and what he's done for the sport. So, shout out to him and good luck to him in his future endeavors. Next! Man, I can't wait for this fucking fight. November 4th, Deontay Wilder will be defending his WBC title against Luis Ortiz. And they talking a whole lot of shit. I watched that press conference. Deontay Wilder basically said that Luis Ortiz might not make it out of the first round. First he said he might get him out of there in 3. Then he said, shit, he might not make it out of the first round. You know what I'm saying? Luis Ortiz wasn't there to respond to that. Then he comes out and says, don't fuck up the fight by using PEDs again. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that back when Luis Ortiz fought Latif Coyote, I think that was in 2014 if I'm not mistaken, he failed a drug test after the fight, and I think it was I think the PED was Nandrolone or Ostarine, I can't remember, one of them motherfuckers. But anyway, he failed the test, and his knockout win over Latif Coyote was ruled a no contest at that point. And since then he's been clean. He hasn't had any issues with drugs or anything like that, or PEDs. But Deontay Wilder throwing shade. Luis Ortiz come back and says, don't get caught with weed again. As we know, that nigga Deontay Wilder be toking like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. This is going to be an excellent fight. I like the shit talking. I like the promotion. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I understand Anthony Joshua is ahead of Deontay Wilder, right? And understand, people, I don't do this whole bias bullshit because I'm American and Anthony Joshua was a Brit. It is what it is. Anthony Joshua is at a better status than Deontay Wilder, even though Deontay Wilder has a more prestigious belt. He has more wins on his resume. I think he's like 33-0 if I'm not mistaken. Joshua is 18-0, right? But Joshua is the more recognized fighter right now because he beat Vladimir Klitschko. Now understand, Vladimir Klitschko was already dethroned by Tyson Fury, but he still was recognized as one of the best fighters in the division, at least top 5, one of the best heavyweights, right? Deontay Wilder has yet to be the top 5 heavyweight, or at least recognized by the general consensus as a top 5 heavyweight. Deontay Wilder has yet to do that, and he's, had 6 title defenses? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking him. I'm on his side now because he's got this Luis Ortiz fight. But I'm just saying Anthony Joshua is ahead of him. But here's the kicker. Even though Anthony Joshua beat Vladimir Klitschko, right? If Deontay Wilder beats Luis Ortiz, if he just beats him, 12-round decision, split, majority, unanimous, whatever. Luis Ortiz is so good, in my opinion, that Deontay Wilder will be the best heavyweight at that point in time, right? Now, for all you motherfuckers that are going to disagree with that because you're big Anthony Joshua fans, well then tell me why Anthony Joshua didn't take the Luis Ortiz fight. It was said prior to him fighting Vladimir Klitschko, right, that the winner of that fight had to fight Luis Ortiz. The WBA mandated that fight for the winner. When Anthony Joshua beats Vladimir Klitschko, he tried to get the rematch. Nothing wrong with that. Klitschko had a rematch clause, I believe. I believe he did, right? But he tried to get the rematch. It was a good fight. It was a close fight until he got the knockout, right? I actually had Klitschko winning the fight. Okay? He wanted to get the rematch. But then when Klitschko retires, well, then you should have immediately fought your mandatory in Anthony Joshua. I'm sorry, in Luis Ortiz, right? But instead, he's fighting his mandatory for the IBF, a fucking fight that wasn't mandated until after the WBA made their mandation prior to the fucking Klitschko fight, right? And this is the kicker. Kubrat Pulev isn't really the mandatory, right? If you look at the IBF rankings, the #1 slot says not rated. Kubrat Pulev is ranked number fucking 2. Alright? Come on, man. Kubrat Pulev is not anybody that we consider a top fighter at heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Kubrat Pulev has been off the radar since he lost to Vladimir Klitschko. Sure, he's fought after that, but he's still been off the radar. He actually wasn't even really on the radar. You know what I'm saying? He beat, what, Tony the Tiger, nigga? Tony the Tiger Thompson and shit. You know what I'm saying? Before the Klitschko fight, we were actually looking at Kubrat as a contender, but he wasn't really an elite fighter at heavyweight yet. And Vladimir Klitschko showed that shit, landing left hooks in succession and knocking his ass out. So we're not really calling for a Kubrat Pulev fight. We wanted to see him fight Luis Ortiz over Kubrat Pulev, but he didn't take that fight. But guess who did, though? And guess what? Luis Ortiz is also not Deontay Wilder's mandatory. It's fucking Bermane Stiverne. But Wilder said, yo, I don't want Bermane Stiverne. If y'all want me to fight him, I'll fight him, but I'm gonna try to pay him some step aside money so I can get the bigger fight. You know what I'm saying? The more lucrative fight in terms of my legacy and probably money. I think he'll get more money fighting Luis Ortiz than he would a bum-ass Bermane Stiverne that he already beat 12 straight rounds to become the fucking WBC champion, right? So I think he gets more money, and he's gonna get more of recognition to his legacy by fighting Luis Ortiz and possibly beating him. So, man, kudos to Deontay Wilder. I've been critical of him in the past, man, but I got to give him 100% credit for this shit. It's exactly what Lou DiBella said. You know, Deontay Wilder is doing some crazy shit and picking Luis Ortiz. And it's funny because I hear some niggas around the YTBC or whatnot, you know, different sources, writers and motherfuckers on Facebook, etc. They seem to be overlooking Luis Ortiz like he's just some bum-ass nigga that's getting ready to walk into a straight right hand November 4th. Look, man, for you cats, I suggest y'all motherfuckers go watch some film. And this is a clear indication of lack of boxing knowledge. If you really believe Luis Ortiz is just gonna be another motherfucking Eric Molina, or, you know, another Artur Spilka, another Johan Duhaupas, you know what I'm saying? That's a clear lack in boxing knowledge. Of course, you know, power is a great equalizer. Luis Ortiz could get knocked the fuck out by a straight right hand. Anybody can get knocked out, right? But on paper, you can't sit there and tell me, based on his skill set, he's gonna look like a Johan Duhaupas in there against Deontay Wilder or a fucking Artur Spilka. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go get your boxing knowledge up, yo. Can't wait for this fight. Next! So, Manny Pacquiao rejects for the second time the Jeff Horn rematch. Hold up, let me get some water. Nigga's mouth is all fucking cotton and shit. Hold up. Alright. He rejects it for the second time. Jeff Horn wanted to fight in Australia. Pacquiao said no. Bob Arum was like, alright, you know, we'll have a fight in the US. Pacquiao said no. He instead wanted to fight in the Philippines. But this is the funny shit. Bob Arum was like, I mean, I'm not gonna pay for that shit because, you know, the Philippine peso, whatever they call their money, is not strong on the American dollar. He says something like 52 pesos for $1, right? So Bob Arum, you know, just feels like he's gonna have to put up more money than he feels like he would want to in order to invest in this fight, having it in, you know, Manila, right? So he looked to the Philippine government. The Philippine government was like, yo, you know, we'll do whatever we can, you know what I'm saying, to support our guy Manny Pacquiao, word up, you know what I'm saying? But we not gonna pay for that shit. They straight up shitted on Manny Pacquiao and said, nah, bro, we not investing in this shit. You know, it's crazy that Manny Pacquiao has lost the support that he once had, you know? And I think it really stems from him losing to Floyd Mayweather. I think him losing to Jeff Horn put the icing on the cake. But when motherfuckers realized that, you know, the very reason why they were on Manny Pacquiao's side, or, you know, they jumped on his hype train, was so that they could celebrate his victory over Floyd Mayweather. When they realized that that shit didn't come to fruition, they all hopped off the train. They all left Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? It looks like to me even the Philippine government left Manny Pacquiao. And this is a guy who's involved in politics over there. He's a fucking mayor. And, you know, you would think they would be like, oh yeah, bring it over here in Manila. We pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But no, that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. They said, no, we're not going to invest in shit. So now Pacquiao's assed out, right? And guess what? Bob Arum is talking about Jeff Horn versus Terrence Crawford. Now, it's just a coinka-dink. You know what I'm saying? Coinka-dinks are not something I believe in. I don't believe in coincidences, right? But it is a coincidence that, you know, Manny Pacquiao denies the rematch twice. Everybody knows that Terrence Crawford was going to move up after he beat Julius Indongo. And everybody called it out that Terrence Crawford was going to fight Jeff Horn for the WBO 147-pound title, so that Bob Arum can keep that title in-house, and he will have some leverage, right, against the other top fighters at 147. I mean, he's had that belt at 147 for a very long time. Tim Bradley, Jesse Vargas, Manny Pacquiao. I mean, just those three champions right there, that shit's gonna span a good like 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And now Jeff Horn, now Terrence Crawford after that, if those two fight, you know? So I just think it's a coincidence that now we're talking about Terrence Crawford, Jeff Horn at the right fucking time, coincidentally after Manny Pacquiao denies 2 rematches with Jeff Horn. I don't know, man. I've always thought this fight was going to happen regardless. But it is what it is. If it happens, you know, Terrence Crawford will easily become the new WBO champion at 147. The only thing I don't like about that is Bob Arum is going to do whatever he can to not match him up with the other motherfuckers at 147 that are in Al Haymon's stable. I know that, you know, the lawsuit is off. Bob Arum has expressed doing business with Al Haymon, and they've already have. But I still question Bob Arum's motives. You got to look at the fucking rankings, the WBO rankings at 147. I mean, it's fucking terrible. It's a bunch of no-name niggas, and they ain't got none of the elite guys at 147 ranked in the top 10. It's set up for anybody who's in Bob Arum's stable who has that title to pretty much flourish, to have, you know, a good time defending the title like 8 or 9 times. Now, the trade-off here is Terrence Crawford may not be for that. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford is a guy who wants to fight the best. So he might tell his promoter, nah, fuck that. I don't want to fight no goddamn Bradley Skeet. I don't want to fight no goddamn Konstantin Ponomarov. I want Errol Spence, or I want Keith Thurman. He's already expressed wanting Keith Thurman, right? So he may tell Bob Arum, fuck those other fights. I want that fight. And Bob Arum would have to oblige. So let's see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting what happens at 147. Next! And the last of this segment. Mikey Garcia is a beast, dog. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He a beast. Word up. This is about to be one of the biggest years for a fighter in a very long time. I mean, this is a guy who is a champion at 135. Shit, let's go back. Let's go back a little bit, right? He had a 2-year layoff because he was trying to get out of the fucking organization I just finished talking about, and the devil incarnate himself, Bob Arum, right? He was trying to get from underneath that motherfucker's control. So he took 2 years off so he can ride out his contract. As soon as his contract finished, he got back in the ring, fought 1 fight. Right after that, immediately got a title shot. Knocked that motherfucker out. Smooth, clean out. Beautiful, right? Then after that, as being a champion at 135, he said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go up to 140 and fight Adrian Broner. Beats the dust off of Adrian Broner. I mean, just literally just beat this motherfucker across, all up and down across the ring. You know what I'm saying? Then he says, you know, what's up with that Vasil Lomachenko cat? Well, to Vasil's credit, he's fighting Guillermo Rigondeaux on December 9th, who I believe is a better fighter than Mikey Garcia. So can't really say Vasil ducked Mikey when he's fighting Rigo, right? Called out Jorge Linares. Been calling Jorge Linares out for a long time, actually. Linares is, you know, he's vocal now. And Linares is one of those guys. I like Linares, don't get me wrong, but he's one of those guys who's vocal, but he's not really about that life. You know what I'm saying? When he didn't have no fight, Mikey didn't have no fight, Mikey was calling him out. Linares didn't want no smoke. As soon as Mikey gets a fight, Linares start talking shit. Linares is over there, you know, in the UK circuit fighting Anthony Crolla twice. Now he's getting ready to fight Luke Campbell. You know what I'm saying? While he's got fights scheduled, he's talking shit. So, you know, Linares don't really want that smoke. Mikey's been trying to get that fight for a minute, right? So that's not there. So now he says, fuck it. I'll go to 154 and fight Miguel Cotto in his last fight of this year. His last fight of his career, actually. He's a beast, dog. And he's not talking about making Miguel Cotto come down. He's saying he'll go to 154, right? Motherfucker's a beast, dog. But here's the thing, though. Miguel Cotto's already expressed that he won't go below 154. And I don't blame him. He's been campaigning at 154 pounds since he lost to Manny Pacquiao in 2009, right? Right after that fight, he fought Yuri Foreman at 154. And since that fucking fight, he's been at or above 154 pounds. So, and at his age, there's no bringing him down to 147 or 140, nothing like that. If you want to fight Miguel Cotto and you don't, and you happen to not be in his division, you happen to be in a lower division, you got to move up. You know, Miguel Cotto, dog, I've been done with him. I've been done with him. Ever since he tried to bring up Tim Bradley, he tried to bring up Juan Manuel Marquez. A lot of people like that fight. I didn't, because Marquez didn't even look good at 147, let alone fighting Miguel Cotto at 154. I know he knocked Manny Pacquiao out. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao died for about 10 minutes. I understand that. But that's literally the only fight Juan Manuel Marquez looked good in at 147. You know what I'm saying? So dragging him up to 154, that's going to be way too much. So I wasn't trying to see that fucking fight. And Cotto was steadfast that he needed to move up to 154. You know what I'm saying? Also, this motherfucker tried to bring up Yuriorkis Gamboa. Remember, I talked about that shit last year. He tried to bring him up. Motherfuckers are like, no, he didn't, no, he didn't. But then the HBO executive, one of the HBO executives, came out and said, yeah, I've had conversations with Miguel Cotto, and he expressed interest in that fight at 154. Now, granted, Yuriorkis Gamboa did the same thing Mikey Garcia is getting ready to do, move from 135 to 154. He said that he wanted to do that, but Miguel Cotto entertained it just like he's entertaining Mikey Garcia doing it, right? The difference here is that Yuriorkis Gamboa hadn't fought at 140 yet. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't fought it any other way higher than 135, while Mikey Garcia had. And he fought one of the best fighters at 140. I was getting ready to say elite. You know what I'm saying? I had to slap the shit out myself calling Adrian Broner elite. But one of the best fighters at 140, and he beat him. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference here. But a lot of you niggas was telling me, nah, man, you know, Miguel Cotto ain't call out no motherfucking Yuriorkis Gamboa, man. You don't know what the fuck you talking about, man. But he's sitting here entertaining a fight with Mikey Garcia, who's a certified 135 pounder. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking him for it. Mikey wants it. But this right here tells you that he was entertaining the Yuriorkis Gamboa fight, if you don't believe the HBO executive that said he was, right? Miguel Cotto chilling at 154, not fighting Demetrius Andrade, not fighting Jermell Charlo at the time before the Kamagat fight, back when he was trying to get these smaller guys up to 154. Jermall Charlo was there. He wanted a Canelo fight. Canelo wasn't looking at him. He was fighting that nigga Beefy Smith and trying to get a Triple G fight, right? So he was lingering around hoping to get a Canelo fight. Shit, he was even lingering around recently hoping to get a Canelo fight if he would have beat Triple G. He said he wanted the winner. I don't think he would have fought Triple G because he had an opportunity to fight him before and he paid him step-aside money. So I think that was just bullshit. He was hoping Canelo would win so he can get that rematch, right? But he wasn't trying to fight the top guys at 154. Hell, he could have brought some of the top guys from 147 to 154 and fought them, like Keith Thurman, you know, Errol Spence. He could have brought one of them motherfuckers. But no, he was looking at other cats. You know, Yuri Ortiz Gamboa. Hey, dog, we trying to get you that Erislandy Lar fight. Nah, man, fuck that, man. I ain't trying to fight nobody shame charge me, man. You know, where that nigga, that motherfucker, what the nigga name, Yuri Ortiz Gamboa, man? Let me get that motherfucker, man. He 135, that's perfect. That perfect, 135, nigga. The fuck out of here, man. Real talk, man. But I do like this fight. Contradicting myself, right? It is what it is. Mikey Garcia is a beast. He's already shown that he can fight above 135. That's why I'm allowing this one. So it is what it is. We'll see how this pans out. Alright, YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Will be real. Let me know what you think about these topics. This is real talk for real fans. 1.